you ready for Tuesday?
Yes, definitely.
Do you have a good subject?
Nothing yet, I don't know. I'll figure it out before Tuesday.
Okay, now,
I did talk to you when.
okay, she is just so smart. She's such a nice lady. She's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And
She sent me, you know, some
I know, she
ideas.
gave you some topics.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, we're all looking forward, I don't mind saying this, you might have standing.
Oh, now the pressure's on.
No, it's.
You're making, the pressure is on now.
It's not, you don't have to worry about it. It's a
I
very,
figured I'd wait, that's on my radar, but I figured I'd wait till the weekend and figure out.
do you know how to get there?
Yes, I think she sent me the address, so I assume is it a clubhouse, or like the big building itself, right?
Yeah, it's a 3-story,
Yeah,
looks like a,
I'll look it up, and if I have questions before, I'll call you.
please,
Yeah, or I'll call Mindy and ask her.
either one.
Will she come in on Tuesday?
Probably not, but let me see what she says. I would like her to be there, so I don't have to be the only Jewish person in the room.
That's a good reason to go.
Yeah.
That's a good reason. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, all my friends there are gonna pop in.
Okay, I better make sure it's something interesting. I'll look at the topics she had. Some of them were, you know, more politics, some of them were more general. I'll look and see. We'll figure it out.
Politics.
You know, because Shabbat is Tuesday, is Wednesday night, you know, holiday of trees.
Okay.
So I may do something of what she suggested and just end with something about, you know, Judaism and trees and, you know, we'll make it interesting. I promise I'll try to make it.
I mean, there's some people showing up because of me.
Well, and I will do you proud as best I can.
But we're, God, it's all of us. What was I gonna ask? Are you on Tuesday discussion? Are you showing up?
I know.
Why?
Because I don't read it. But they can't read to me.
Support me? You gotta support me.
I need
Okay.
pronunciation to make sure.
Okay, I can go over it later.
All right.
It's about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look
Now, before
who's
you
here.
go.
Man of the year.
Yeah.
Stan. Paul. What's your last name? That's not a real name. That's the name we use when we go to a motel. Are you married to a Smith?
Yeah, he's studying.
And he's still here? I mean, your Mr. Smith is still around? He's still your husband? Thank God for that. Yeah. And your girls are both Smith? Good. What was your maiden name again?
My brother's Carl, he's a lawyer.
Okay, so Smith was not
My
my
older
father.
brother.
So why are you here?
But on my stepmother's
Your mother was married to someone. What's that? Is it Jewish name? No, we don't.
I will.
Okay. It's nice to have you here. You're a pleasure to have you. And you brought 2 beautiful girls. Oh, that's nice. I come once in a while. I've been here 23 years at this synagogue. No. I've been at the German most of the year. I attend 6 or 7. The big holidays. Yes. Well, me and my daughter Mindy and her husband are training on it. We came to the. I'm glad your first name is Amy, and that is short for.
It's a good problem.
Okay, that's right. Okay. Any.
Sorry.
can't be a father. Everybody.
Yeah, well, I was born in the era when everybody paid for it.
So did you guys live?
Yeah.
When I get famous on stage, I'm making my stage name to Jeff.
Okay, well, we're gonna get going.
Hey guys.
All right, do I have any volunteers to light the candles, which are lit, but say the blessing over them? Linda's, yeah, good, awesome, you're it. I nominate you. You can put your stuff down. You can take your coat off. You might not want to. You might not want to, I know. I thought about leaving my scarf on, but I'll brave the cold. Actually, I turned it up earlier. It is, I turned the heat up at like 5 o'clock. I turned it up before I left and came back.
That's the part I don't
Oh,
like.
that was, well, we had a light before Shabbat started. So if you don't mind, without further ado, you will find the blessing for lighting the candles this evening. You notice they are lit already because sundown is getting later, but not quite 6 o'clock yet. So Sue and Mindy and, I don't know, Steve, they were all here, and they made sure they were lit before the sun went down. So we, if you don't mind, we are able to rise as we welcome in Shabbat with the blessing. If you'd like to follow, it's on page 4. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. Welcome back from New York. I know you've been back for a little bit, but we appreciate you. So we turn over to page 5 as we join together with the hymn that welcomes in those ministering angels to our midst, bringing us the peace of Shabbat, page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You'll kindly turn to page 10. There you'll find Yedid Nefesh, our hymn that is a beautiful hymn, actually, from the 1600s thereabout, the late 1500s, early 1600s. Talks about really the soul of the Sabbath that comes to us. We join together, top of page 10, we'll do the first verse. And again, if you don't know the words, Yai-da-dai-da-dai works too when we get there. Yedid nefesh av harachaman mishach avdach el retzonach yarutz avdach kemo haya yishtachaveh mul hadarach ki yerav lo yedidutach minofet suf vechol tam yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 dai. You'll find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, page 11. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. You'll find by the arrow on page 12 the conclusion of the psalm. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar am to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu drachai asher nishpati v'yapi im yevaon el menuchati. Page 14, if you'll kindly turn there, you'll see by the arrow the words Yismechu Hashamayim. The heavens and the earth are glad, the earth rejoices in Shabbat. That's the idea that we're all celebrating. And as we anticipate the arrival of the holiday of Tu B'Shvat, what do you know, right? Coming up this week, Wednesday night to Thursday, rather. This psalm certainly speaks to us as we pay attention to the world around us in the natural sense. So page 14. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tageh haaretz, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, umelo, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, umelo, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tageh haaretz. Lifnei Adonai kiva kiva lishpot haaretz yishpotei vel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato. You'll kindly turn over to page 19. As we have been doing in the bottom of the page, you'll find the selection from a contemporary Tel Aviv prayer community. Certainly we can continue to think about our brethren in Israel during this difficult time. Page 19, if you'll join with me at the very bottom in the small print on the left side in the English, this selection together. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. Amen. Page 20 by the arrow, we join together. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Page 21, you'll find the 29th Psalm as we seek to hear God's voice in the wider world around us. If you are a nerd like me and you want to learn a little bit while we're singing, you can read the note on the right side of the page. It actually refers to all of the natural connections, the connections of nature, rather, to this psalm. It's really interesting. You can read it now or later, but it reminds us again of our connection to God, certainly, but our connection to the land as well. So if you're able to, I'll ask for you to rise as we join together. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'os, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai beharat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim. Vayishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, vayarkideim kemo egel Levanon v'Siryon kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzei flavotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yecholel Ayalot, Vayechesov Ye'arot, Uvechalo Kulo Omer, Kulo Omer Kavod. Adonai Lamabu Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom. You are welcome to be seated. On 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as our bride or queen into our midst. We will do the first two verses on page 23, the middle verse on page 24, and the last two verses on page 25. And when you get there, I'll give you the signal, but you'll see it from the red print in the book, that we will then rise and turn for that last verse towards the entrance, and somehow the door will magically be opened by Dr. Zander, who has said, I'll do it. Thank you. As we do what the mystics do in Israel each Friday night, what they've done for generations, which was to go out actually into the world, outside of the walls, and welcome in Shabbat. So we do that figuratively by opening up the door and welcoming in the Sabbath bride to our midst. So page 23, the first two verses. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmi'anu el am yuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha. Ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof maaseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 24. Hitoreri kiva ore chumi ori. Uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai Allah yechnigla. Lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 25. Yaminu semol tifrotzi v'et Adonai ta'aritzi yarish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. We rise and face the door. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. You are welcome to be seated. If you'll kindly turn to page 26, you'll find a verse there under the little letter Aleph that we traditionally recite when we are in the presence of those who have just had a loss, those who are in mourning. Of course, Shabbat is a time that suspends the formal mourning period, in that our mourners those who are in that most intense period of time can certainly come out and join the community. But we want to recognize that it's still a difficult time. So I know as we, extended Rabhan family is here tonight, and certainly Harold and we extend to you, if all of us can read together the selection at the top of 26, you'll find it in the Hebrew, and we'll do it in the English as well. Hamakom yinachem etchem betoch she'ar avalei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. May Barbara's memory continue to be a source of inspiration for all of us. Certainly in a few moments we will be reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, and we'll continue to keep her in our thoughts. But we send our hugs to the extended Rabhan family and Harold. So page 28, you will find 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat as we join. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodod la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, alei asur v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor, mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodod la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. We conclude the psalm over on page 28 by the arrow. Tzadik tamar yifrach ke'erez balevanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva deshenim verananim yihu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri tzuri velo havlatabo. 29. Adonai malach geut lavesh lavesh Adonai os hitazar av tikon tevel bal timot. Edo techanemnu me'od lahavecha nava kodesh Adonai liorech yamim. Those reciting Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, you will find it on page 30. All those reciting are welcome to rise and join with me. And as we have been doing, we have designated this Kaddish in our weekly prayer, and our Shabbat prayer in particular, as one that we keep in our thoughts, those who lost their lives in the massacre in Israel, and certainly those hostages that we've learned about more recently have lost their lives in particular too. Page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam b'lomei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha, b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You are welcome to be seated. Okay, so on Friday nights, I've been kind of giving you a choice, if I have one, a story or a more serious story. Well, I know what you like. Any votes? How many of you like a story, a fun story? How many of you would like, I see the hands in the back. How many of you like a more serious message? Okay, well, it's about half and half. And considering I did a serious message last week, which is shorter, I think they're about the same. My kind of guy. Just for that, I'm going to make it draw it out longer. I know. Of course, Steve's going to say that. All right, well, you know what? I don't know about you, but it's been a long week for me. It's cold outside, and this is entitled The Bird of Paradise. So maybe it will, put you into the warmer climate. If I hear the bird of paradise, what immediately comes to your mind? I know what comes to mine. Hawaii. Thank you. Hawaii. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the beginning of the story. But I will tell you, this is not a story about anything about Hawaii. Let me just give you the verse that it jumps off of, because the Parshat of Bo, either way, you get a little serious message. Okay. So the Parshat of Bo, which we study this Shabbat, and you'll learn more about tomorrow when we read and when we celebrate with our sisterhood, who will be leading the service. The verse comes, and this is the heart of the Passover story that we are reading in its context, as opposed to what we'll be celebrating several months from now. And the verse comes from Exodus 12, verses 24 and 26 through 27. You shall observe this Passover as an institution for all time. And when your children ask you, what do you mean by this rite? You shall say, it is the Passover sacrifice to Adonai, to God. So this is the verse that is the spur for this, and you'll see where it goes in a minute. But this is an important verse because it's reminding us, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow, about how important it is to pass on our tradition to our children in particular, to our loved ones. Perfect segue back there, Manny, right? But this is entitled The Birth of Paradise, and it's a little bit like a Chelm story. You've never seen a bird like this in all your life. Have you ever seen an eagle spread its wings across the sky? This magnificent bird had a greater wingspan. Have you ever seen the brilliant colors of the peacock? Well, this glorious creature displayed more colors with more vivid intensity than the peacock. Have you ever seen a rooster strut his stuff in front of his clucking admirers? Well, this regal bird made the wind stop and take notice that he had paraded by. One fine day, this bird of paradise swooped in upon the town of Meshug. Now you know what's going to happen. It was as if the sun had been eclipsed, for darkness suddenly blanketed the face of the earth at midday. So expansive was the breadth of his wings that the sun was completely hidden. Now you can bet that the Meshugites stopped what they were doing to turn their attention to the sky. Awestruck, they marveled at this great bird as it circled the town once and then again and then again. The Meshugites stood absolutely still and simply followed the bird with their eyes. Mendel the Meshugite watched, as did his wife Miriam the Meshugite, as did their son and daughter Moshe and Mindel the Meshugites. The heads of all the Meshugites swiveled around and around on their necks like dreidelach, like round and around. Finally, the bird came to rest on the very top of the very tallest tree in Meshug, and it was an old tree with huge branches, but even the powerful, thick branches bent under the weight of this great bird. All the Meshugites hurried over to the tree. There was Mendel and Menachem and Miriam and Malka and Mutal and Mordechai and Minna and Matal and Meir and Meshulam and Melech and Manny. Sounds like my family with the J's, except those are all M's. Did you ever see a bird like that before? Asked Manny to anyone and to no one at the same time. I'd have soup for a year, mumbled Minna. The town which had a bird like that would be famous, said Motel. Motel, you're right, cried Mendel. When I traveled to Warsaw or Minsk or Pinsk and tell people that I am Mendel of Meshuggah, they look at me and say, Mendel of what? No one has ever heard of our town. No one ever comes to visit. Minna, does anyone but your friends here in Meshuggah come to your stall in the market and buy your square eggs? Minna shook her head no. And you, Manny, when was the last time you had a visitor in your roofless inn? Where else can you find an inn that lets you sleep under the stars, even in the winter? Replied Manny. All those other fancy schmancy places give you 4 walls, a bed, a fireplace, and a ceiling. Who wants that? If a person wanted that, wouldn't he just stay home? So all the Meshuggites, of course, nodded in approval at Manny's logic. And when they went on vacation, they don't leave the town. They actually just go to Manny's roofless inn. Soon, everyone began to realize that business would indeed pick up, and Meshuggah would become famous if only they could capture this incredible bird. Mendel had an idea. They would make a human ladder and get the bird down from the tree. So he lined everybody up in size places. So he lined everybody up, right, by the size of who they were. The smallest would go on the bottom, and the tallest of the tall would go on the top. This way, Mordechai, the tallest man in Meshuggah, would be at the top of the human ladder so he could reach the bird. After all, what good would it do if the smallest Meshuggite were on the top? How could tiny Moshe reach the bird when Mordechai was a full 10 hands taller? So little Moshe leaned against the tree on the very bottom, poor Moshe. And then Mendel came and stood upon his shoulders. And then Malka climbed up, followed by Miriam and Motel and Minna, and down came the human ladder. Moshe simply collapsed under the weight of all the others. Well, obviously, Mendel was not so smart. Manny had another idea. Since Moshe could not hold the others, why not place a large trunk on the bottom and let the others climb on top of it? So the Meshuggites placed a huge black trunk on the bottom of the human ladder. This time, the Meshuggites made it to Motel before the ladder collapsed. Obviously, Mendel was too weak. She would have to be replaced. So out came another trunk. And so it went, and one by one, each Meshuggite was replaced with a trunk until the pile of trunks had risen almost high enough to reach the bird. All that remained now was for Mordechai to climb the pile of trunks, reach the bird, and capture it for the Meshuggites. Well, he started his ascent. One by one, he climbed upon those trunks. Higher and higher and higher he went. And within moments, he would reach the bird. At the bottom of this pile was somebody's trunk. And whose was it? Well, it was Meir's. It bore all the weight of the other trunks, plus the weight of Mordechai, who stood way, 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 way up at the top. And as Mordechai strained to reach closer and closer to the bird, the lid of Meir's trunk began to break. This was Meir's one and only trunk. It was the centerpiece of his home. He became more and more upset at the sight of its impending ruin until finally he ran to the pile, snatched his trunk out from under the others. I do not care about your bird or your plan. You're not going to ruin my trunk, he cried. And with that, all the trunks came tumbling down, one after the other, and Mordechai too. Never was such a loud crash heard in Meshuggah. It truly must have been thunderous, for its force knocked the great bird from its perch, causing it to fly away and to find a safer and much more quiet place to take a breather. The great bird was not seen ever again in Meshuggah or in any of the other neighboring towns. And to this day, Meshuggah remains unknown. You haven't heard of it, have you? Remains unknown, and the Meshuggites unknown as well. Now, what can we learn? We're all Meshuggah. That's exactly right. our tradition teaches us that one is not to separate from the community. We talked about the verse of pass it on to the generations, right? But within that context of that instruction is not to separate ourselves from our wider community. And our tradition teaches that that's a very important concept. And in this story, well, of course, Meir the Meshugite brings down the whole human ladder when he pulls out the bottom trunk, when he pulls out his trunk. And so, too, we might look at this as if the Jewish community can fall apart when we pull ourselves away from our community. And we know that certainly our children and the generations that our text refers to of the Parshat of Bo, of the story of Passover, pass it on to your generations, that's such an important piece of who we are, that we want to pass that on to the next generation. But certainly we have to remind ourselves that in order to do that, we have to be a community as well. And so it's a perfect story, certainly for this Parsha, but also for our celebration of our sisterhood tomorrow, who's pulling together as a community, our community of women within our congregation, and celebrating Shabbat, this Parsha in particular, in support of our congregation, in support of one another. So it's a cute story, but it really does remind us of what happens when we pull ourselves away from our community. We think it only affects us, but it actually can affect all of us, as we all see ourselves as part of the Jewish people. So keep that in mind as we study this Shabbat and as we go through the parasha of Bo this week. And if you want to do a serious message, come back next year on Parashat Bo. We'll talk about Pharaoh and plagues and fun things like that. For that, we move forward into our evening service. And as always, you will find it on 39A, the beginning of the evening service. I'll ask if you're able to rise as we do Baruch Hu. Wendy and Alice, if you want to come up, you're welcome to, as you help out with our Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You may be seated. Thank you. We read together the first bracha before the Shema, the bracha of creation appropriately again, as we anticipate the arrival of Tu B'Shvat, our birthday or New Year of the trees. 39a, the bottom left in the English. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tsevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai who brings each evening's dusk. El Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam v'hed, Baruch atah Adonai amari v'aravim. Page 40, we join together at the top. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochveinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'hed. Ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nehege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla, v'ahavat chal tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema together, 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ugshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. We read together in the English on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. We turn on over to page 44, Umalchuto b'ratzon, the words leading up to Michamocha, the song that was sung by the Israelites, led by Moses and Miriam as we left Egypt. Again, part of the story of Exodus we are in the midst of studying. Page 44. Umalchuto b'ratzon kiblu aleihem, Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nohora tehilot osefele Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe ze'elianu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'ga'alo mi'achazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Page 45, you'll find the Hashkivenu, our prayer that asks God for a sense of shalom as we prepare to sleep this evening and that we awaken to a brighter day tomorrow. We join in the English on page 45 together. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechayim u'leshalom me'ata v'ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael v'yal Yerushalayim. Page 46, we rise as we join together in the singing of Vishamru. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish, the middle of 46. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה v'meru amen. You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening beginning pages 47 through page 52. As always, feel free to add your own personal thoughts to the words on the page. When you're through, you're welcome to be seated. bottom of page 52, we join together. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, amen. You'll find Kaddish Shalem over on page 54. Yitkanal v'yitkana shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yimechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'yimeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam alal me'ol maya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram bi'alma v'imeru amen. Titkal bal tzaloton uva'uton techol Yisrael kodam avuhon divi shemaya v'imeru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav v'yase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. If you'll kindly turn forward in your Siddur to page 173, there you will find the far left in the small print our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Certainly we think of healing in these days certainly as not just physical, but certainly physical, emotional, spiritual healing as well. And we have our list of names here as we always do. I will recite them certainly, and if you have a name you wish to add, if you want to stand or at least raise your hand high so I can see you. We have a bigger crowd tonight. Let me know, and we'll please add those names to our list as we prepare to sing. So tonight we keep in our thoughts Hanan Yehuda ben Blumerivka, Daniel Eliezer ben Tzvi, Shulamit bat Gidol, Chaya bat Abraham Vasara, and know the Hebrew names, to Evan Kutcher, to Dan Siegel, Danielle Rice, Gittel Glasser, Ari Sanders, Ariella Alfieri, Peyton Matthews, Bill Bucks, Samuel Sheridan, Estelle Lurie, Lynn Alexander, Marjorie Morstein, Linda Cutler, Kat Caraway, Diane Hickey, Barbara Feingold, Remy Valcourt, Harriet Siegel, Lori Kahan Simon, Bob Bugos, Nadine Hyman, Mike Kadetich, Linda Holtzman, Ed Tansky, Irene Friedman, Joel Lowenstern, Gary Kramer, Arthur Stone, Natalie Kogan, Diana Saltzman, Victor Alfieri, Michael Abrams, Francis Haber, Michael Hawkins, Michelle Stupak, Caitlin Weathers, Alex Schwartz, Danielle Santini, Becky Smith, Julia Bernanke, Irene Goodman, Teresa Timmons, Esther Rowe, Jane White, Jeremy Silver, and Suzanne Gott, and to all whose names we add at this moment. We keep all of them in our thoughts and all those who are in need of healing. Page 173 on the far left as we join together. Misheberach Avotenu Mekor Aberacha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema, a perfect healing. As we are preparing to turn back to page 56, we have the custom here, of course, of opening the Aron HaKodesh when we do that. Hold on, guys. I've got something special, so don't go up yet. We talked again about the theme of community before. It was a little bit of back and forth on a telephone earlier this week and last week. Manny, you and I playing telephone tag with messages not getting there. But Manny and his family are newer to the area, to the upstate, and living out in the hinterlands of Clemson. Their son, Ty, who is 13, turned 13 on the 10th in his English birthday, and earlier this week on his Hebrew birthday, turned 13. And what happens when you turn 13? Whether you do anything about it or not, as a Jewish child, what happens? You become a bar mitzvah. You become a child, a son or a daughter of the covenant. You are now obligated as a Jewish adult for all those fun things that adults as Jews do, all of those Jewish responsibilities. And today, so we're a little busy tomorrow. We can't call Ty up to acknowledge it at the Torah. So tonight we're going to ask the next best thing. We're going to ask Ty if you'll come forward and have the honor of opening up the Ark for us, for Aleinu, and we'll do a little special something after that for him. But we want to acknowledge that he has reached the age of becoming a bar mitzvah, and his parashah of Bo is the heart of our Exodus story. And again, the idea of community, the idea of teaching our children the stories that we need to teach them fits very well as he celebrates becoming a bar mitzvah formally in our community. And we hope later on we'll do some studying and do some blessings at the Torah and the Torah readings and things like that, hopefully, if that's in the cards. But for right now, as you've just come into the community not long ago, we want to welcome you up. So Ty, come on up, if you don't mind. And if you want, you can bring any siblings you want with you. Or not. If you kindly will rise, as Jonah, will you show Ty where the cord is to throw? We got some help up here because it's a little tricky where it is. Show him where it is. Let him pull the string as we all rise and we join together. If the two of you will stay up there as the honor guard for the Torah, go ahead and pull it the other way. Show him where to go. Show him how to do it. Oh, show him how to do it. Pull it down the other way, other side. That's it. There we go. As we join together. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol ha'teit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adam shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gohor aleinu k'chol hamonam V'anachnu kor'im ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהונות השמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת, אין עוד.
ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו it slides, there you go, אחד ושמו אחד. You are welcome to be seated. So, Ty, before you go on down, we'll keep you up here for a second so your parents can see you in the back row. There you go. Certainly, as you mark this special moment in your life, we offer you a special mishaberach, a special prayer for long life and for the ability to learn more as a Jewish adult. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka v'Rachav Leah hu yivarech et Matityahu Shlomo ben Yitzchak me'er v'Yaakova shehigia limitzvot v'ala lichvod amakom v'lichvod haTorah v'lichvod hakadosh v'lichvod Shabbat hakadosh baruch hu yishmerehu v'chayehu v'yichonein et libo liot shalim im Adonai Elohav lehagot b'torato lalechet b'drachav v'lishmor mitzvotav v'yishlach bracha v'atzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yadav v'yimtzah chen v'sechel tov be'einei Elohim v'adam v'nomar Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Ty, who is here celebrating becoming a Jewish adult, reaching the age of mitzvot here on the Bima. We celebrate with him this evening. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu protect and sustain him, helping him to be wholehearted in his faith, continuing to study Torah and fulfilling the mitzvot, to walk in God's ways. May he find favor before God and before this community. May he continue to find the blessings of Torah and of a life of doing good deeds. And may his family be blessed along with him. And together we say, Amen. Wait, I've got something for you. Hold on a second. You know, what do we normally do for a bar bat mitzvah, guys? Oh, yeah, we throw a little candy. So, do you have a favorite flavor? Not you. You got time. Pick your favorite flavor. All right. A little orange. We're not going to throw candy at you, don't worry. But you, a little sweetness on this special day of celebration. And thanks for allowing us to celebrate with you. Keep going down. Very nice. Hope you will stay. Certainly, in just a few moments, we'll have our normal Kiddush in the back, and we can certainly get to congratulate and say thank you. Say a mazel tov to Ty and to Manny and Jackie, if I said it right. Did I get it right? Perfect. Great. For those of you, as we get ready to conclude our service in just a few moments, you'll find Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 58. And certainly, as we recite, I got it, thank you. Sit down for a minute. Certainly, as we recite our Mourner's Kaddish today, as I mentioned earlier, we keep in our thoughts the memories of Barbara Rabhan, who is so important to this community as one of our community matriarchs, and certainly the matriarch of the Rabhan family. And we mourn her loss greatly, along with all of you. We also mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and the week that is coming. Dora Chaimovitz, Manuel Kirsch, Lillian Davis, Isabel Pugatsky, Murray Arkin, Rebecca Grossman, Robert Feingold, Emmanuel Haas, Milton Feingold, Bertha Gaffer, Bertram Lipman, Elsie Ben, Isadore Cohn, Mamie Fetter, Milton Lurie, and Mary Scher. Those reciting Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish.
I also want to let the congregation know that Rabbi Matthew Marco's mother, Barbara, died.
So certainly send our condolences as well. Page 58, you'll find Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Bialma divrach yirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha v'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May be seated. I think, Erica, are you? I'm not sure who is our Bima buddy, but yeah, we're going to get you in here. You know why? Because the very first announcement is, yeah, so come on up if you don't mind. The list I have was from the same as last week, which I didn't think it was the same as last week. But you're listed for tomorrow. So we'll let you do tonight.
Sure.
And Sue is doing tomorrow, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give this because someone has pointed out to me that they can't hear you from afar.
Really, me?
Well, I'm going to do this for you.
Okay.
That way they'll hear you up in La La Land up there.
All right. Friday night's Oneg is sponsored by Mindy and Mike Unger and Stan Blumberg in memory of Carol Blumberg. And tomorrow's Sisterhood Morning Kiddush is sponsored by Sisterhood, Saturday morning.
Yes.
Is sponsored by Sisterhood Shabbat. Friday only, tomorrow join CBI Sisterhood for a Sisterhood Shabbat at 10 a.m. with a Kiddush lunch to follow. If you're interested in if you're attending or interested in attending Southern Shmooze for small congregations in the South, February 2nd to 4th at Camp Ramah Durham, please contact the office and register online as soon as possible. Financial assistance may be available.
This is pretty much the last call. So if you really on the fence, you're not sure, whatever, let me know and go ahead online and register. But we're going to start. They're going to close registration on us sometime in the next couple of days and next week, the beginning of the week.
Don't forget to join Social Action this Sunday, January 21st at 12:15 for a period packing party. Next Wednesday, January 24th, is CBI's Tu B'Shavat Seder, beginning at 6:15. Celebrate the Year of the Trees with blessing songs and yummy food. RSVP is required and a $3 donation is appreciated. Please see the newsletter for the link to join the CBI Religious School in the JNF fundraiser to plant trees in Israel. $18 equals one tree planted in Israel. Donations to the food drive, which I always forget, but I will bring tomorrow, are always greatly appreciated. Non-perishable food can be dropped off in the basket in the front hallway. Social Action and United Ministries thanks you for your continued support. Weekly reminders. Tuesday, adult education class with Fred Leffert meets at 5:30 via Zoom. Wednesday, Introduction to Judaism with Rabbi Cohn is at 7 p.m. in the social hall. Sunday is Turning Points with Rabbi Cohn at 9:45 a.m., followed by Beginning Hebrew at 11:15 with Fred Leffert. Both classes meet in the social hall. For more information on any of our adult education offerings, please visit our website or contact the office. Save the date. The Blood Connection blood drive will be February 25th at Temple of Israel from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. For more details or to register, please see the January bulletin, the CBI website, or contact Richard Zander. Anniversaries. January 25th, Bonnie Kessler and Jeff Kremer. Birthdays, January 20th, Nathan Einstein. January 20th, Mark Hyman. January 21st, Emily Bowen. January 22nd, Emily Hirsch. January 22nd, Harold Hughes. And January 23rd, Sue Arkin. Is there more?
I think that's it. That's it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. So if you're, again, if, oh, okay. Yes, but she is out of town turning 30. She is celebrating out of town, so you not see her on Sunday. So when she gets back, you can find her. And Emily is our religious school director, if you don't know her. And yes, she's turning the big 30. But yes, she's partying out of town. Yes. Ah, okay. I think we mentioned it last week, but very nice. Excellent. Happy birthday. All right. Anything else that we didn't get? Happy birthday. How old are we now? Oh my gosh, the big 15. Woohoo. He doesn't look like he's so excited to be 15. Hey, you get to learn how to drive soon. Oh, he went like that. That got him. All right. With that, we're going to conclude because we're getting a little noshy in the back. There is a lovely little kiddush, oneg. And so we'll do kiddush and motzi together and enjoy a little bit of fellowship and friends together. So please join with me. Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We'll head in the back for a little kiddush and motzi. Please introduce yourselves to one another if you don't know somebody. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, let me grab my stuff.
Sweetheart here.